Welcome to Best of the Nest, a program produced by the television production students of Armstrong High School that takes a look at the things from the students' points of view. I'm Kaylee Radinger of AHS-TV, and today we will be taking a look at the class of 2020 and the dress code. First up, our own Archie Perella sat down with Stephen Wright to discuss the class of 2020. Let's take a look.
Hello, I'm Archie Perella of AHS-TV. Today I'm joined by Stephen Wright to talk about the class of 2020. Would you please tell us a little bit about yourselves and our viewers?
Well, I'm Stephen Wright. I am the senior class president. I'm involved in musical, quiz bowl, math league, and a lot of different clubs.
All right, thank you. We are now going to Ben Swanson to take a closer look at this year's senior class.
Thank you, Archie. I sat down with Dr. Snyder, the senior class advisor, to ask her about her thoughts on the class of 2020.
You know, starting last year, I became a real fan of the class of 2020. And I know that it's been said that we have really good kids here at AHS, but in my opinion, this class is one of the nicest. You get a certain attachment to classes throughout the year, and I just have found this group of kids one of the best to work with. I enjoy the personalities, I enjoy the kidding around. It's just a really nice group of kids to work with.
I then sat down with the class of 2020 to get their opinion of their senior year. So what are your favorite memories from high school?
Well, I don't have a specific memory, but my favorite memory is coming into school every day and seeing all my friends.
Definitely just coming to school every day, hanging out in TV production.
Probably all the people that I've met and all the friends that I've made and meeting all the teachers.
I think some of my favorite memories are 8th grade enrichment and Mr. Paul's class.
Now, what do you think you'll miss the most about high school?
Probably the constant social interaction and being able to come to school. Look forward to seeing my buddies every day, my favorite teachers.
You know, my friends, they've helped me a lot through school and through life, and I'm going to miss them. Hopefully I'll continue to see them after graduation.
Honestly, the time that it takes up, I find myself so bored at home, whenever high school is done. In between classes at college, it's probably not going to be fun when I have nothing to do.
Do you have any plans after graduation?
Either attending Clarion or Youngstown for marketing.
I think I'd like to do engineering. I've been looking at Allegheny College.
After graduation, I plan on going to college for history as my major and be like a historian or museum curator, and if that doesn't work for some reason, I can do military.
Plans after graduation, I'm not 100% sure. I am accepted to IUP just for undecided right now, but I'm not too sure what path I'm going to go yet, but I'm definitely figuring it out.
I want to be an engineer. I'm a major in civil engineering at college.
Do you know where you're going?
I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm looking at Pitt, and then we'll see.
How do you feel about graduation? Are you nervous, or?
I wouldn't say nervous. I'm not going to wish my senior year away, but I'll be happy when I graduate. I'll be able to go into all these new opportunities and take on the world.
I don't know, I'm just kind of waiting for it to come and see what happens.
I'm not too nervous, probably more so excited, but definitely going to miss all my high school friends.
I'm excited. It's been a long time. I love school up until this point, but I never thought senioritis is a real thing, but I'm ready to leave and move on with life, I guess.
To me, graduation is something that I know is going to happen, but I'm probably not going to be prepared for, as probably is going to be for everyone else. But I'm just taking it one day at a time, and I know it'll be a good day when it comes.
Back to you in the studio, Archie. Thank you.
Thanks, Benjamin. I'm Archie Perella of AHS-TV, for those of you just joining us, and I am joined today by Stephen Wright to talk about the class of 2020. What is your opinion on your class?
I think the class that we have here at Armstrong as seniors is a really good class. It's a little bit bigger than usual, but I think overall we're very well-rounded. We have a lot of kids involved in every different sport, club, the musical, the band. I know we have good representation.
So what is your job as senior class president?
Well, as senior class president, this year it's mainly focused on just fundraising, and we just got almost done planning the senior trip. We're just working out the little kinks of it. But mostly it's just raising money for the class to make that final push to do the senior trip.
All right, can you tell me about the senior trip?
Currently we're planning on the end of May, which is the weekend before graduation, we're going to Canada. We're going to go to Niagara Falls. We're going to go to a castle up in Canada. We're going to take a Thursday to Sunday trip, and like I said, it's right before graduation, so that Sunday is actually baccalaureate, which leads into Tuesday. We come back for graduation.
All right. What will you miss most when you graduate?
I don't think there's really one thing to really focus on missing. I think in general, like I said, our class is really well rounded. There's so many people in our class that I'm going to miss, and even classes below. Just being able to talk to them, see them every day. And even though high school does sometimes get to me, it's worth coming just to see the kids that we have here.
Do you have any favorite memories?
Like I said, I can't really pinpoint one favorite thing, one favorite kid. It's just the group that we have, the groups that we've gotten to share this high school with have just created really good memories that I'm going to remember for a long time.
How do you feel about graduation?
Some people are nervous, some people are excited. I'm a little bit in the middle. I'm ready. I know that when graduation comes, I'm going to go up, I'm going to do it, I'm going to be done with high school. But in general, I'm not really focusing on graduation. I'm just worrying about today and every single day.
What advice would you give to next year's senior class?
If I had to give advice, I think I took senior year a pretty good way, just really focusing on living in the moment and enjoying every day that you can, getting involved in extra things. There's even more things that I wish I would have gotten involved with. I know this year I joined the musical. I did it last year, and then I did it my sophomore year. And it's a lot of fun. There's even been more kids last year that just joined that have never been in it before, and they've all, like I said, we just have the group that you can join any club and you're going to have fun. You're going to make new friends that you're going to talk to for a long time.
What are some things you wish you could have done?
I don't regret many things from high school, not doing them or doing them. I'm glad that I did, things like musical and quiz bowl and math league. Regretting things, I try not to look on that. I've tried to just really focus on senior year and joining things this year, This year for quiz bowl, I've been on it all 4 years, but this year I really broke out and was able to be on the varsity starting team. So it was a really good opportunity to be able to, I guess, really get into the club more, meet some more people.
Is there any new clubs or activities you're joining?
There's been a couple that I've been looking at it's halfway through the year and they're still even taking new applicants. There's a lot of smaller clubs that have even been added this year and last year that I guess going back to if I had to regret something, I regret that those clubs weren't started earlier. That way I could have joined them. Different clubs, I regret not doing Stuco. I should have stayed in that longer, but not doing that gave me more time to do other clubs and being able to focus on quiz bowl, like I said, varsity, and other things like that.
What were your favorite clubs and activities?
Like I said earlier, it's hard to pick one favorite thing of anything. I guess I'd say quiz bowl has got to be one of them just because this year I was able to break out and do the varsity. Musical, like I brought up earlier, the kids that have joined last year and even this year will really stick with me. I'm glad that I was elected by my class to be the class president because I was junior class president as well, and we focused on, we had to plan prom. But this year it's a little bit different because we're really just focusing on fundraising and selling candy and just planning the senior trip and then graduation to get us all out of there.
All right. What are your plans after high school?
Well, actually, at the end of November, I was accepted to the college I wanted to go to, Teal College, for an interview. And after interviewing, and about 2 weeks later, my admissions counselor showed up to my school with a $133,000 cardboard check. and told me that I was getting a full tuition to the school I wanted to go to become a mathematics major, a minor in teaching and computer science. So I'm just really excited to go there after high school. Like I said, I'm not wishing high school away, but I'm excited for the opportunity I'm going to be given after high school.
It's definitely exciting. How do you want your class to be remembered?
I think as of now, like I've mentioned before, our class is so well-rounded. I think that's going to be one of the main things that we're remembered as, just being that class of kids that was there. We were in everything. We have starters on every team. Like I said, the Quiz Bowl team. We have 5 seniors as varsity, so that's going to be a good thing to remember. I think after our class leaves, it's definitely going to be a change in the high school.
All right. Well, that's all for this segment of Best of the Nest. I'd like to thank Stephen for joining me today to talk about senior year.
Thanks, Archie. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back with the AHS-TV Best of the Nest.
2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trod in black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
And we're back with more of AHS-TV's Best of the Nest. I'm Archie Perella of AHS-TV, and we're going to be looking at the dress code. Take it away, Ava.
Hi, I'm Ava Morelli here at the AHS-TV studio with Jessa Kinter talking about the school dress code. How are you, Jessa?
I'm good, Ava. How are you?
I'm really good. Okay, let's start now. How do you feel about the school dress code?
Well, I personally feel that a school dress code is very important in our school, but I also think that it could be a bit stronger and implemented or spread more throughout.
Why do you feel this way?
Well, I think obviously it's very necessary for students to have a school dress code so that they know what rules to follow and things like that. It also helps provide modesty for them, and it can help avoid distractions in classes.
All right. Do you feel that the school dress code is fair?
I would say that it is definitely fair for students. I mean, it's obviously you should be having a school dress code, and it is definitely fair for students. It's not pushing them in any way to dress, so specific, and it's definitely, I would say it's fair for them.
So, do you think it's fair that a girl's school day is interrupted because her bra strap is showing, or her shorts are too short because it's distracting for the boys?
I would say that that wouldn't interrupt her day, because if the school dress code was spread and implemented more, she would know before even leaving her house in the morning to know that that would be distracting or that would be. And obviously, if it happens, it may be embarrassing for a student, but that's why bringing this and kind of spreading it out more would help students then know this before it would even happen.
Why do you think there is a dress code?
I would say simply, like I said before, there is one to provide modesty for students. You obviously can't have them showing up dressed completely inappropriately or totally distracting the other students during the school day. It just kind of helps that school environment altogether.
Don't you think that people should express themselves in how they dress, though?
Yeah, students can definitely still express themselves with a school dress code. Still through certain things with colors or accessories, as long as it's providing or going along with those rules, they can still definitely express themselves like I am today, following the school dress code.
Do you think that the school dress code is strict?
I would say that it's not too strict at all, because students should learn these fundamentals of dressing appropriately and providing modesty with what they wear. I would definitely say it's not too strict, especially because we don't have a school uniform either. We let students to dress freely.
So I did some research and found that schools all over the country made national news for the ways that they enforce their dress code, like asking a student to put duct tape over their holes in their jeans, suspending a student for a skirt that was too short. Don't you think that's a little too excessive?
I would say in some points it is, but it's all depending on certain schools. For our school, like I know students are allowed to wear leggings. A lot of other schools are against that or have certain, say, shirts or sweatshirts that have to cover that. It's just depending on each school. I would say it's just dependent on them and their specific rules. And like I said before, if it was implemented and spread more, these issues could be avoided altogether.
Don't you think boys should have a stricter dress code? Because girls get dress code all the time, not boys.
I would say that technically it is equal amongst them, but they obviously tend to dress different. You typically don't see boys wearing skirts or wearing dresses, but there's nothing wrong with that. It just typically doesn't happen. It's still definitely equal among them. It's just obviously they tend to dress differently. So girls should know to follow the dress code more, and the boys should follow it just as well.
What do you think is equal about it then?
It's technically equal that if a girl were to show up, say, in a muscle shirt, inappropriate for the school dress code, she would just get dress coded. If a boy were to show up with shorts that didn't follow that were too short, he would get dress coded. So it's still technically equal with each point. It's just they tend to dress differently, so that's why they would be dress coded for different reasons.
Don't you think that students should be prepared for the outside world, like how they dress?
I would say definitely, and that's why a school dress code is helpful to that, because they're learning that they have to be modest and they have to be appropriate in certain situations. Obviously, if you're going to go for a job interview or go for, say, to speak somewhere, you obviously want to dress appropriately and according to the situation. So I would definitely say that school dress code would help teach those students that, knowing what's appropriate and what's modest for a certain situation.
But they would want to express how they want to wear, like for the outside world too, so why couldn't they do it in school?
Well, that's what they can still definitely express themselves as openly as they want outside of school. Obviously, we can't control what everyone would wear, but in a school dress code, they can still express themselves completely fine. Like I said, I am today with what I'm wearing, and I'm still following the school dress code.
So I did another research on what a principal said, and it said that we needed to look at getting a new dress code, and we wanted to make sure it was body positive and didn't marginalize students. This happened in 2017. How do you feel about this?
I would say that that's definitely appropriate, and that's definitely a good way to go about it, because some people can assume that, if a school dress code is being implemented more, that it's trying to be strict to certain people or to this or to that. Whereas, if it's taken in a sense of that you're trying to be positive and you're trying to be, fair amongst your students, that's definitely great, actually, that he's taking a kind of further step to implement it more. Whereas a lot of schools just have one, but, how much is it followed? So with that, that's kind of, he's taking a better approach to it and saying, let's make it positive for all students and make it fair and equal, just like that, but still make it that students can dress appropriately and modest, for school, but take it in a positive way.
But they should be able to express how they want to wear.
They can still express themselves, like I said, multiple times. Students can still fully express themselves. So you wear a certain color that you like, a certain fabric, accessories that are appropriate. Obviously, you can't come with crazy dangling gauges or hair or the brightest neon colors that are also exposing certain parts of your skin, certain things that wouldn't follow the dress code. But students can still find their own kind of feel with that and their own expression, I would say, through the certain rules of the dress code.
I've seen people myself get dress coded, even if it's like a little off their fingertips, but boys never get dress coded for anything. How do you feel about that?
It would just simply be because a girl would be breaking the dress code. And obviously it's seen that girls are typically to do that. I mean, I'm a girl myself, you are. You know that happens. And I think it's just because of the way, you know what I mean, that it's set. Like I said, it's still equal. Like I said, if a boy were to show up, say, and wearing a skirt that was too short, he would still be dress coded. It just typically happens that girls wear more inappropriate or more rule-breaking things.
All right, that's all the time we have here. Thank you.
Well, that's our show for this week. Best of the Nest is a production of the students enrolled in television production courses at Armstrong High School. Join us again next time for a look at the unique things happening in and around Armstrong High School from the students' point of view. Until then, from our nest to yours, have a great week.